Welcome back to this last hands-on video. And in the last section, we talked about the fact that we want to make sure that when we're purchasing, we want to make sure that we're purchasing, not substituting for the things that we really need to do in order to build our business. And one of the things that we talked about here is we talked about the book Deep Work. And we talked about that with respect to the concept of scheduling interaction and making sure that it's focused. Now, this book is by a gentleman named Cal Newport, and it's actually written on Kindle. It's also available on Audible, and it's also available in most public libraries for free. The concept of the book is how can we get the most focused time in on the work that we're trying to do, and he has several strategies in how to do that. And so we talked about this with respect to interacting in groups and interacting in products rather than actually doing the work that's really going to generate content and generate cash for us. And so you want to keep in line, are you really getting the work done? And this book will help you to think through that process and whether or not the interaction that you're getting is the kind that will generate profit. And again, if you're going to buy in order to generate the kind of profit that you really want, you might want to consider some level of coaching, or if the information product actually does it for you, then get the information product. But again, the thinking that you want to do can be developed in this concept in this particular book. We also talked about the book Peak by Anders Ericsson, where he discussed this idea of deliberate practice. And we talked about it with respect to making sure that when you purchase software, that it's really giving you the kind of automation that you want, and that it's really building your business, doing things for you that you cannot do or that you could do, but that the software helps you to do it faster. However, not looking at it in a way to avoid understanding your market, to avoid understanding how to reach your customer, or to avoid understanding your customer in the first place. And so the book, like the others that we have talked about, is available on Amazon, in Kindle, in Audible, and it's typically available in most public libraries for free. And the book is really the cornerstone of the philosophy that Malcolm Gladwell talked about in the book Outliers. The theory that he talked about in that book was based on the work of this gentleman. And I guess this is the first time that he's actually put his real thoughts in print and real thoughts in action. And so what you'll see here is that what's most important is for us to practice deliberately, to get feedback on what we're doing, and then make adjustments. And that process helps us to improve in every little thing that we're trying to do. And it's especially going to help us as we are solo business owners or even managers of other people. So this book will help to shape how you make your purchases so that when you make your software purchases, you're not making them to do something that you can only do by getting better at what you do, but to get it so that it helps us to be more focused as well as to be leveraged in our business. We talked about the book, The Blue Ocean Strategy, and the Blue Ocean Strategy is really about going to some place where there is not a product currently, but that there's a market need. And so we want to make sure that when we use PLR, that we change it into something that the market needs. And that's what we talked about in the Avoid Substitute section. And that we want to make sure that we are still in the marketplace understanding it, still doing the actual work. This book is also available in all the forms, typically at most public libraries. It's a little older, it's been updated a number of times, but the concept is still the same, that we as business owners and entrepreneurs, we want to swim where there is not red ocean. And the idea about red ocean is that if sharks are there, they're feeding on people, and of course there's blood in the water, and that's where all the sharks go. But we want to go where there's blue ocean, where there are not a lot of sharks there, but that the market is there waiting for a solution for a problem that it has. So if we understand, the more we understand the market, the more we're going to be able to take our PLR to meet that demand, even if we have to go back and change some of it in order to give the market what it wants. We also talked about the book Smarter, Faster, Better, and making sure that we are not buying information instead of making a decision. And so we have to have in mind what it is that we're trying to accomplish, and to think about this in terms of every 7 days. Every 7 days, we should have an idea of what we're trying to accomplish, not only for that week, but what we're trying to accomplish in our business. And that would not be vague. That should not be that we're just trying to make more money or we're trying to make another $2,000. We should have a pretty square goal in mind and how we're doing that. And we need to have an idea of what should be happening every day and some kind of minimum viable activity. So what is it that we can do or we cannot leave the day without doing in order to accomplish that goal? And that's where we kind of brought in the concepts in the book Smarter, Faster, Better. In the book, there's a concept called locus of control, and that we want to remain in control of the process of driving our business. And so what we don't want to do is we don't want to be out of control so that if a launch happens that we're going to jump on it because we don't want to miss it. We want to make sure that the business drives what it is that we need. And so we always want to be inside of that space of what do I need to do in 7 days? What do I have to happen? What do I need to make happen in order to get to that goal? And what's my minimum viable activity? And sometimes there's going to be a launch that'll fit into that. And other times we'll have to buy things that are outside of that launch. But if we're moving in a particular direction, we'll be able to avoid the substitute of buying when we really should be making a decision about how we're going to build and grow our business. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.